Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the PokerGO podcast. My name is Donnie Peters. His name is Tim Duckworth. It is late night, Sunday, June 1st. We've made it to June. Do you feel like we accomplished something?
Not one bit.
That's great. It's just past 11:30 p.m., so a little bit later of a start today for the podcast, but nevertheless, we are here to bring you a brand new show and update you on everything that has been happening across Horseshoe, across Paris at the 2025 World Series of Poker. We got a big show today. $2 million bounties were pulled in the Mystery Millions. That's what we're going to lead off with. We got Artur Martirosian winning the 25K heads up. We got Benny Glaser winning his 6th WSOP gold bracelet. Mr. Benny the Gas, as they call him. No one really calls him that, but I just made him up. Well, the thing is that I used to say his last name Glaser, which is not right. It's Glaser. So I used to say Benny the Laser Glaser, but that's not right.
Sounds really cool, by the way.
Yeah, it does sound great, but I have since been corrected. It's Benny Glaser. Okay, so I got to, come up with something else. You got Negreanu is mashing away in the 10K Omaha high-low. At least I hope he is, because last I checked about 15 minutes ago, he was mashing away. So hopefully we're not blowing it, but we'll check in on that as we go. And then, of course, we'll hit on all the different happenings around the WSOP here. As always, if you're looking for poker that's fun and free, Play Poker Go brings you authentic poker action, no gimmicks, no bots, just true poker players like you, like Tim, like myself, from all around the world. Jump straight into a ring game. You can test your skills in multi-table tournaments. You can play against real competition. With Play Poker Go, every hand feels like the real deal. It's poker how you want it. It's authentic, it's free, and it's fun. You guys can find Play Poker Go on the web, on iOS, on Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free at playpokergo.com. All right. First up, what are these glasses?
The ones that were a couple days ago.
Yeah, exactly. You're not bringing the heat.
I'm going to bring something new, I said.
Yeah.
I got something new right here, a new cowboy hat.
Yeah, but you told me it doesn't fit.
It's a little small. I got a big head.
Tim told me, he said you got that you went to the WPT party, or the WPT Gold party, and you said they had custom cowboy hats, and then you tell me it doesn't fit. So I'm like, well, is it custom? Because if it was custom, it would fit.
That is a good point. Well,
that is a very good point.
Certain sizes, and obviously a lot of people had some hats. This was one that was it's more custom. The accessories on it, the bands. I put 2 little cards on it. I put a little matchbox, some feathers. That part was custom. It's a little tight, but it's cool. But yeah, I got that. Had some snacks. I also got a seat, Gold Rush ticket. I'll show it here. Look, those at home, little Gold Rush ticket gets me a seat in the $1 million free roll.
Okay,
you're
definitely.
And then
rich.
I got a seat in the WPT Prime Championships on Club.
Oh, you're
WPT
for sure
Gold.
rich.
So hopefully we're going to win some money for us.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. Let's get back to the real story.
Look, hat today. I promise you something new tomorrow. I already know what it is I'm bringing tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. Mystery Millions, sir. $2 million bounties were pulled. The first one was pulled by Tyler Montoya. The second one was pulled by Thomas Zano. Both, I think, pretty early in the day. At least Montoya's.
I think it was within the first 90 minutes of play.
Montoya's for sure was within the first 90 minutes of play. Zano's wasn't much long after. Montoya, who he ran deep. Can you look up when he ran deep in the WSOP main event and how deep he went?
Yeah.
But he was on, the broadcast a bit. Some people may recognize him from that. He said afterwards that he was going to the strip club. He said that strippers in Las Vegas better hope that they're working because he's going out tonight. Now, he kind of then walked it back a little bit in an interview with Jeff Platt. So, I don't know. Is he going to the strip club? Is he not going to the strip club? What's he going to do with it? He did say he might fire a little harder in terms of, for the rest of the summer. He kind of made fun of all the high roller people. He said something about them like only having 10% of themselves. So I don't know. The guy seemed all over the place. But before you comment, let's just go to that interview right now. Okay. We'll hear from him and then we'll come on back and we'll chat about it.
All right, Tyler pulls the $1 million bounty at the Mystery Millions. I got to ask, what are the plans for this evening?
You know, the strip club content, that was for the content. I don't plan on going.
Okay. Because you'll be
Officially,
playing, or?
I don't plan on going for more than an hour. I'll say that. But official plans, you know, I'm not going to go too crazy. A lot of people think I'm cocky, but 80% of my net worth is in the stock market in some way. It's going to go up, you know, and I'm going to continue building because $1 million's not the goal. It's a few million. And that's not even being cocky. I want to continue to grow financially. Yeah.
What are the plans the rest of the series? Does this open the door to fire a little harder?
All those pros and sharks, whatever they call it, have 10% of the action. They're going to see me in the 25K. This luck box, this cocky 23-year-old, whatever you want to call it. But other than that, I had a full schedule already. So it doesn't change too much. I'm still going to play the main. I'm going to play 10K. But yeah, the 25Ks, those are on my radar. A couple of them are on my radar.
He's got all his action now.
Yeah, always had all my action. So we'll see how these pros that have 10% of themselves handle.
All right, so you guys heard it there. Tyler Montoya. I mean, I don't really know what to expect from him for the rest of the summer, but
No, 61st place last year in the main event.
Very, very good.
I don't think he's going to the strip club tonight, but probably call up his boys, get them to come into town, saying we're going to celebrate, maybe get a booth at XS. I think that's more the plan, and maybe next weekend he might be doing that stuff.
Okay.
That's what I predict.
Okay. And then Thomas Zano. Now, this one was interesting because this guy is like just the king of all jackpots, the king of lotteries. You know, he needs to start buying Powerball tickets, the whole nine, because he won in 2023, January 2023, at the Flamingo, a colossal $6.4 million. Yeah, some would say massive. A $6.4 million PokerGO jackpot. This was when, remember this PokerGO jackpot at Caesars Properties was getting so large that it kind of took the poker community by a little bit of storm, just in terms of, you know, all the players said it's now plus EV to play because this jackpot is so large. Lo and behold, a poker player goes on to win it. It's Thomas Zano. So again, that happened January 2023 at Flamingo. And now, fast forward, WSOP 2025, this guy pulls one of the $2 million bounties. I hope the whole room booed him. Just out of like fun. I mean, come on.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, come on. That's just absolutely insane that he pulled that. Of course, there is still one more $1 million to be won, and that is going to be for the first place prize. Now, what did you think about the $2 million for the $2 million bounty? So they had $2 million bounties. They had, I think it was one 500K and one 250.
Didn't love it. You know, like I think we've discussed this. I like the one big one and then, you know, a lot of stuff in the middle. The one thing that really bothered me was the prize pool, actually, and the massive jump between first and second place. But I know, obviously, bounty prize pool's separate. But yeah, I mean, I would have liked.
It doesn't need to be that big. It's so insane.
If they won $1 million for first, it kind of, I guess, had to be that way. But I would have liked, $1 million, couple 500s, some 250s, some more 100s, some more of that middle stuff where, you know, it really can be, you know, let's be honest, 100,000 is life-changing money to some people. So more of those, I think, in that field would have been kind of preferable if I was kind of building the bounties. But obviously, you know what, $2 million bounty pools is the media-grabbing storyline and probably what WSOP won.
Yeah, I would have preferred, personally, $1 million bounty and then two 500s and then three 250s. I think that's a better way to go about it. But nonetheless, we got Tyler Montoya, we got Thomas Zano, and they both pulled 7-figure bounties. Hello. I also do think that they should reserve a big one for the end.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that, like, you know, you and I were over there, and these players are busting out players left and right. The structure is, you know, somewhat fast. I mean, the stacks just aren't that deep. But, you know, when we were over there for the last couple hours, a couple times checking in, I mean, 25K was the biggest bounty. So I just feel like holding one till a little bit later, especially at the final table, I think would certainly be.
Maybe not even the biggest. Maybe you want to hold the third biggest or something.
Yeah, like a 250 or, you know, something like that. You know, I think that would be fine. Just so it's like a really big pull at the final table. it is planned that we are going to stream this. Of course, it does depend on how things shake out, but it's looking like, yes, it is going to line up that PokerGo is going to stream the final table on Monday, June 2nd. So as long as that all works out and comes to fruition, then, it would be cool to, on the broadcast, be able to pull a really, really big bounty. Of course, that could happen anyway. It could just break that way, but, I think reserving it just kind of keeps it safe. So the plan is to stream the final table on Monday. It will be on PokerGo exclusively.
Ooh.
So you got to go to PokerGo.com. You have to pick up a subscription. I would highly encourage you to pick up an annual plan. Use the promo code PODCAST. You'll get $20 off your first year. And all annual subscribers get entered into a drawing, a sweepstakes, to win a seat to play in the in the PGT $1 Million Championship. Is it 3 people or is it just one? How many are you giving away?
It's your promotion, so you should know.
It's not my promotion.
It's your promotion.
That is not my promotion. That's your promotion.
No, it's not my promotion. I think it is.
But it doesn't matter. You can win a dream seat. Whatever. Just get on in there, because it's worth it. First of all, you get the poker. Second of all, maybe your name is pulled. You're sitting next to Dan Legrand on one side of you, Jeremy Osmus on the other side of you. You're playing for $500K. That would be pretty badass. It does look like they are down to 30 with around 20 minutes left in the day. Now, this is wild. Malcolm Trainer is still in. Now, he's on the shorter side, sitting around 25th, 26th out of the 30 remaining players at time of recording. And you might be wondering, where have I heard that name before? Well, you heard it because he won this tournament last year.
Crazy. Insane.
18,400 players last year. He won it. He's your boy. He's an Aussie.
Kangaroo Crew.
That's right, baby. That's right. So he won it last year, and now he's made it to at least the final 30 this year in a field that has about 1,100 more entries. This is an insane run. Absolutely insane. What in the universe is going on?
Is this better than Mark Newhouse back-to-back ninth place finishes in the main event?
No.
Let's say he final tables this. Doesn't win, just final tables.
No, because I think, one, although there are a lot of soft spots in the WSOP main event, I think that the WSOP main event is still harder. You're going to run into better competition, especially as you get deeper. Plus, it's just longer. It's more grueling, right? It's just harder. Mark Newhouse, he made 2 runs that spanned a total of 18 days.
Yeah.
This is a total of 6-7 days, something like that.
But all the minefields in this one.
I understand. there's
nearly 40,000
minefields
players
in the main event too.
Sure, yeah.
I just think that getting through the main event is just so crazy. I think you also do have to factor in that, the main event's a freeze out. You get multiple tries in the Mystery Millions. So, we don't know for sure. Yes, Malcolm Trainer could be on his first bullet in both of them. He could also be on, bullet 8. Right. So he could have multiple tries and finally one click. Now you do have to still do everything after that, but you can't just kind of bust and move on. So, so there's that. Steven Song, is he in?
8th in chips, baby.
Oh, baby.
Oh, maybe even better than
Field bonus, baby. Mr. Song,
8th in chips.
The only 25K fantasy player to get the field bonus. So with the altered rules, for 25K fantasy, it is buy-ins of $1,500 and under. The field bonus is capped at 81 players, and it's also capped at 100 points. So Song had to get to the final 81. He did. He looked over and gave us a big old thumbs up because he knew what was happening. And he is still in right now. So you know what, Song? Go on and win $1 million, sir. Go win a damn $1 million. Go win another bracelet. You are arguably the best big field, no limit hold'em player in the world. And you are doing the damn thing for Team DPMD, the only 25K player to get the field bonus. So I've had to listen to Jeremy Becker beak about Artur Martirosian, which I was not even wrong what I said. He keeps chirping at me. I got the 25K fantasy account chirping at me. I got everyone chirping at me that I said on this podcast that when Jeremy said Artur Martirosian is deep, and I said he's not even in the money. You cannot be deep and not be in the money. Like I was not wrong.
You were not.
And he so happens to go on, kudos to Artur Martirosian, and we're going to get to that. But, I mean, come on. But you know what? Steven Song said, hold my beer. I got my guys. I'm going to go get this 100-point field bonus. And he did just that. Any other big names over there?
I think Daniel Strelitz is still in.
Okay.
And to me, that's kind of we got is Joey Weissman's fiance.
Michael Acevedo is still in.
Okay.
Joey Weissman's fiance Nellie Park is not still in. She was
got bad news.
What?
Just lost Malcolm Trainer, 28th place.
I mean, listen, still an incredible run. First place last year at 18,400 and change. And then what was it? 28th? What'd you say? What place?
28th.
28th place out of 19,500 or whatever the heck it was. I mean, just absolutely incredible back-to-back runs for Malcolm Trainer. That is some incredible stuff.
We also have Wesley Fay in. He's
the cash
most
game
famous
guy.
on Hustler Casino Live. So he's still in. Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, that's the Mystery Millions. Again, the plan is to stream that final table on Monday. So tune in for that. It will be exclusively on PokerGo.com. So head to PokerGo.com. You got Jeff Platt and Brent Hanks on the call for that one. Artur Martirosian winning the $25K Heads Up Championship, his third WSOP Gold bracelet. He won a flip and go at WSOP Paradise. He won an online bracelet. It was a $10,000 buy-in Heads Up bracelet online, which is probably pretty damn tough to win. And then, of course, the 25K Heads Up Championship is one of the toughest bracelets in the world to win. Martirosian got through a field of 64 entries to claim the $500,000 first place prize. He defeated Alexei Boyka in second place. Boyka taking home $300K. He also beat Patrick Leonard in a semifinal match. He pretty much steamrolled Patrick Leonard. Obviously, Artur Martirosian is a very aggressive player, a stone cold killer out there, but the card distribution was very much in his favor, so not much pads could do in that one. Both that match, which was the feature table, the other match that was going on, Boyka and David Chen, was over in 32 minutes. So when we were doing the stream and I was on the commentary alongside Tristan Wade, that one got done super quick. We focused largely on the Martirosian and Leonard match, and then of course the final between Martirosian and Boyka. Both of those replays are available on PokerGo.com and on the PokerGo YouTube channel. So if you missed that and you want to go back and watch, I would highly encourage you to do so. But Martirosian, a freaking crusher, man. And this was a PGT qualifying event.
Yes.
So what did that do for Mr. Martirosian?
It moved Arthur up to 46th place.
Okay.
That's his first cash of the season. Most people remember last season he made a run in the PGT Last Chance series. Just to touch on Arthur's results, he also got fourth last year. The guy's absolutely incredible. He's just incredible all around. I mean, he's just incredible all around. Like it's not even just heads up tournaments. And a very nice guy too.
Is he?
So yeah, very, very.
I mean, I've never spoken with him, so I would imagine he's nice. But great for Artur, an absolute freaking crusher, and still so much more to go at the WSOP, especially when it comes to the big buy-in stuff. So this very well may not have been the last time we hear from Artur Martirosian in terms of ending up in the winner's circle and grabbing gold at the 2025 WSOP. So, look out for that name in the headlines more as we go forward. Another guy who's been in the winner's circle at the WSOP plenty before, Benny Glaser, and he won his sixth WSOP gold bracelet. This guy is a freaking stud, man. He won the $1,500 dealer's choice for $150K. He beat Matthew Schreiber in heads up play. Benny's bracelets. So he won this one, of course, his latest, his sixth. He won the $10,000 limit deuce to seven triple draw in 2023 for $311,000. In 2021, he won the 10K Raz for $275,000. In 2016, so a bit of a gap there between those ones, but still, 2016, he won the 10K Omaha High-Low for $407,000. Also that year, he won the $1,500 Omaha High-Low for $244,000. And the year before, 2015, his first gold bracelet was in the $1,500 triple draw for $136,000. So when it comes to mixed games, Benny Glaser is up there. Benny Glaser is up there.
He is building a resume as the best mixed game player.
The
reason I say that is just what you just touched on. They're all in different games pretty much.
It's wild.
That's so impressive.
And, the cherry on top of that, at least as things currently state, is the fact that this latest one was dealer's choice.
Perfect. Yeah.
And you know what this resume is starting to remind me of? Or who it is starting to remind me of?
Philip Jerome.
That's right. Phil Ivey has all those mixed game bracelets, Like, this is starting to build in that light. Like, at some point, where, let's say Benny gets to 10, 11, whatever, 12. If he keeps playing, I think he can easily do that.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like, oh, yeah, but he's never won a Hold'em bracelet. Like, that's going to be like the thing.
Okay.
Right? Because Ivy has so many of those different bracelets.
Yeah. But, I mean, I would say that Ivy probably played a lot more Hold'em than Benny does.
Sure,
I know
but
Benny does.
He didn't get one.
Yeah. Well, it's not over yet.
Well, I know it's not over yet, but I'm just saying, it's just interesting that's how it's shaking out.
Speaking of Phil Ivey, can I tell my Phil Ivey story?
Yeah.
I go to this WPT party today. It's at All Red, which is out at the Bazaar shops. I walk in, it's level 3. Walk in with Rips, plays all our cash game shows, asking all kinds of stuff about, over here and, some big cash games and stuff. And we get there, he's checking in with his wife and another guy. And I see Phil Ivey, I'm literally on the table right at the check-in, looking at me. And something just seemed off. I don't know what it was. And then I noticed he was wearing a black cowboy hat.
Okay.
I don't know if any...
Was it this black cowboy hat?
No, but exactly the same one. I'm absolutely shocked. I'm like patting my pants down to find my phone, find it, pull it out. I'm like, I got to take a photo of this. I don't think we're never going to see this again. And he took the hat off. So I missed my chance to get a photo of Phil Ivey in a cowboy
We might
hat.
be able to find one. Maybe one of the photographers
there might be, or then maybe there's like one part of the promo. But still, like I wanted that on my phone, but just missed it.
Okay. Ivy in a cowboy hat. I mean, weird, yes, but it is what it is. Okay, so we just talked about Benny Glaser winning his 6th. Let's move on to the 10K Omaha high-low. Nice little segue there because Benny actually won that event once. But in that one, 217 players after the day 2 late reg. So a nice uptick there. It was 197 last year. So they went 212 in 2023, dipped down to 197, has climbed back up to 217. How many players are left in that one, champ?
We have 23 players left.
And Mr. D-Negs, is he still mashing away? Well, yeah, that's mashing away. So D-Negs is doing very well. He's been at the top or near the top of the counts for nearly all of day 2. Looks like he's feeling pretty good over there. He's chatty. He's got the vlog camera working. He's showing bluffs. He's active. So it seems like Daniel Negreanu is locked in to get number 8. And of course, we'll see if that happens. We'll pay close attention to it. Who else you got in that tournament as things stand right now?
Second in chips, Victor Blom.
Okay.
He's mashing away. We also have Eric Wasserson, Max Coleman, Alan Lee, Aaron Coopin. I believe this is going to be ODB Baker, not Bakes.
Well, they were both in, by the way.
Okay, I only see...
When they made the money, both of them were in.
They're still both in. Both David Bakers are in. Ben Lamb, George Alexander, who won the Raz last year, I believe. Thomas Taylor and the short stack, Robert Mizrahi. 23 players left.
I mean, Robert Mizrahi was the short stack on the bubble with like 2 bets. So he's just grinding it out over there. Absolutely grinding it out. Jeremy Osmonds did cash.
Yep.
Another small cash for Jeremy. He's just on his way to 37 min cashes. But however you want to get those points, Jeremy, you go on and get those damn points, buddy. That's all you got to do. So that event is happening. Scheduled for, 3 days, but could extend to 4. This one I feel like always seems to go long. So we'll keep an eye on it, of course. And I'll say right now, this is one of those ones where it's like, get ready to change the schedule, Tim. If D-Negs makes it, I mean, you never know. We're going to be on the phone with Uncle Maury. Hey, Daniel's 5-handed. Let's go. Like, are you going to, you got a crew. Like, we got to try to make this happen.
It's going to have to break pretty well here. It's going to have
yeah, of course. I mean, there's still, I know that, how many players are left?
22.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's so close, but it's still so far away.
Yeah.
It really is. So lots to go on that one. And we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll update you guys, of course, on the podcast as we go. The other events that took place today, $600 Deepstack. Now, this one, it was a big boost from last year, but it's a little bit tricky. It's not really apples to apples because the first $600 Deepstack straight no limit hold'em took place in it was like event 64 last year, like something like that.
Got it. Okay.
So not really apples to apples when we're comparing things, but still, last year, 5,271 entries. This year, 6,090. I definitely think pairing this right after the Mystery Millions, that's a great thing to do because, all those people that are coming out to play a 1K price point tournament, like this is the next thing on their schedule. They're like, oh, $1,600, they can basically fire two things, under 2K. Like that's great. So a big turnout there. That one's got a long way to go. We're not going to get into who's in it just now.
I'll tell you who one of the chip leaders is.
Oh gosh. Give me a clue.
You have bought a piece of this guy before.
Jesus. Bought a piece of this guy before. I have no effing clue.
You could say he works in poker media.
No idea. Blaze.
Yep.
Is that how you say his name? Blaze?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Crushing. Good for him.
Yeah.
How you say his last name? Bourgeois?
Bourgeois? Yeah.
Bourgeois? I have no idea. I remember I said it once on a live stream, and then he told me that I butchered his name, so I should ask him how to say it. That would maybe be a good thing. All right, 10K Mystery Bounty. The 10X Mystery Bounty tournament. Big drop in this one. 965 last year, 616 this year. I also think this one was much later. I
think we discussed it yesterday. I think it was event like 76 last.
That was the one
year.
that Matthew Lambrecht won, and you said he won just over $1 million.
Yep.
Yeah, and this year I don't think it's anywhere near $1 million. I think it's much smaller than that. Let me try and find these payouts. Yeah, 729,000 for first place. So interesting there to see that big drop off. Just looking at the chip counts. They're done for the day. Richard Green is the chip leader. Andrew Lucky Chewy Lichtenberger is second. Nick Palma third. Shannon Shore fourth. Aram Zobian fifth. Who else we get in there? Josh Reichard having a good one. John Shorman looks like John Shorman and Uri Reichenstein right next to each other in chips, boys. It's 431 for John Shorman. It's 417 for Uri Reichenstein. So way to go, boys. Giuseppe Sammartino, name needs to be changed to Dario Sammartino.
I like Giuseppe Sammartino.
I mean,
that's actually
it's a great name, but that's not what he's called. He's Dario. All right, moving on. We got the $1,500 deuce to 7 single draw that our buddy and my co-captain of Team DPMD, Mickey Doft, played and has since busted. But that one saw a small drop. 574 last year, 532 this year. Who's cooking in that one, sir?
Let's pull this up real quick.
Who's cooking in the $1,500? Is
96 players left.
Is Nick Schulman cooking in that one? Well, here's the thing. Nick was in the 10K Mystery Bounty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he was still there.
Let me look up these end of day chip counts.
One of the chip
here.
leaders, we got James Chen, Taiwan. Philip Sternheimer's up there. Sean Yu, Huckseed, Ray Henson. They're in the top 10 chip counts. We got Phil Helmer sitting in 21st. We got Barry Greenstein sitting in 26th.
Look up, do the search for Nick Schulman because I don't see him in the end of day counts for the 10K Mystery Bounty, but he was playing the 10K Mystery Bounty, so he might have missed the late red, which is unfortunate because that's like the Nick Schulman Invitational.
Yep, it is.
Right, so that's a bummer. But hey, there's plenty of big stuff coming up, so Nick will obviously get into plenty of things there. Anyone else you want to mention in that tournament? Your boy Sean Deeb, Busto.
I think we saw him leave, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of confirming that
he has gone.
Okay.
But did win 50K bounty on WSOP.com playing as Tim Duckworth. So
I mean, it's still so crazy that he uses
good luck, Sean Deeb / Duckworth.
Good luck, Sean Deeb. And then Monday coming up, that's tomorrow, we got the $1,500 Six Max No Limit Hold'em. That'll probably be another massive field. I do really like how they did Mystery Millions, $600 Deep Stack, $1,500 Six Max NL. Like I feel like there's nice carryover there.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those. This is one of those stretches where if you got basically a week of vacation time that you can get on out here and play some poker, this is one of those windows that I certainly like for, kind of the lower stakes, mid stakes grinders that, don't have a ton of money to spend, but do want to take a few shots, get some good bang for their buck in WSOP tournament. So you can obviously play that massive 1K Mystery Millions. Then the $600 Deepstack, I think, is a great tournament to get in there for pretty cheap.
Yep.
Try and win a bracelet and a few $100K. And then this $1,500 six max no limit hold'em, I'm sure is going to be nice and big as well. So nice, good little run there for the lower buy-in no limit stuff. Also kicking off on Monday, you have the 25K no limit hold'em / PLO high roller, a brand new event on the schedule for this year. And I think this one is going to be flat out awesome.
Little concern with the drop off in the 10K mystery bounty, to be honest now.
Yeah, but this has PLO.
Sure, but those 300 players missing, are they those Europeans that we come to rely on in the PLO events? The Yonis, the Eliases, the Martin Dams, those kind of guys?
Well, I think Yoni's here.
Okay,
so
but,
is Elis.
I'm just going to look at this one and be little, have an eye on it coming into the biggest PLO events,
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's going to be a great event. I think it's going to be huge. I love the half and half big bet format between these two games. So, this is a very welcome addition, at least in my opinion, to the WSOP schedule, and I can't wait to see it happen. We do have plans to stream the final table of this one, so stay tuned for that to come in a handful of days. And then also kicking off tomorrow, we have the $1,500 mixed PLO, which is what? What is included in there?
Should be
high-low,
PLO,
PLO,
Big
high-low,
O, and then PLO.
Yeah, 3 games. So they got that kicking off. I believe that's the afternoon or evening event. So that's it. That wraps up the day at the World Series of Poker. Any other observations? My random player of the day, which not really random, but kind of random, was Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. We saw him playing the $600 deep stack. So he's out there firing. That's all. I don't think we have any other random people of the day. Overall, I feel like, things have really settled. I've said it once, I'll say it again. This app, I feel like certainly has been a game changer in a lot of ways. I think it's just moved everything so efficiently. I love being able to quickly look up where players are. I do wish that there would be a little bit better updating of the chip counts in there, but it's still very good to get a real-time feed of if a player is just in or out. The table that they're at, so you can kind of look around and say, oh, okay, that player's over there, this player's over here. And obviously, if they bust, they're removed. So that's good because sometimes, you and I both work for Poker News. It's just hard to update the chip counts with Poker News and keep them as up to date all the time, especially when players are moving all over the place. They're breaking tables. They're doing this. They're moving from venue to venue, like all that sort of stuff. But the app is incredible. I also actually heard a very interesting question. And now that we're in this part of the podcast that I doubt anyone is listening to, I might as well bring it up and ask you, Mr. Live Reporting over there. Scott Seaver was seated with our buddy Mickey Doft in the $1,500 no limit deuce to 7. And Seaver asked him if he thought the app would be positive. I'm probably butchering this question. Positive, neutral, or negative for like live reporters and their jobs. Because Seaver said that somebody told him that this is the start of basically machines and AI and that sort of stuff coming for these people's jobs.
He does have a good point. You still need to find a way to capture the data, right? That's what the live reporters do. If you don't value that stuff, you value all the other kind of more automative things, then it could see the downfall of live reporting. The biggest thing, I guess, would actually be the development of chips that, it has been done before. Basically, you have, RFID chips that track hands that have actual, live counts every hand. There's obviously...
I'm not sure we're ever getting that.
We could. I think it's a while away. There's some flaws in it. Price-wise, it's not that much more expensive to get a RFID chip made versus a normal chip. But it's more... Now we have to talk about the technology in the tables. We have to get RFID tables at every table. How do we work, the balancing, all that kind of stuff. That would be the real downfall of a real life live reporter. But I still think there's value. There's still, you have to go interview someone. You have to get quotes. You have to find these hands. So, I mean, if you don't value that, then yeah, it could be the downfall. But I think some of these guys' jobs are safe for, another couple of years at least.
I would view it as I view the current state of AI in general, meaning that I do think AI will come for some jobs. I don't think it's going to come for all jobs. I know that some people may have a differing opinion on that, but that's my stance. And I also feel like, at least for the foreseeable future, it just benefits you to learn AI and learn how to use it to your advantage. So what I would say to the reporters out there that are doing this, learn how to use this app to your advantage. Track more players, get more hands, all that sort of stuff. Now you can literally write any hand in the tournament with any two players, whether you know them, whether you know one of them, whether you don't know any of them, because you can just quickly look up who everyone is in a couple seconds. So there should be no shortage of hands. There should be no shortage of chip counts. Before, you would go out to the field. If you want, let's say you want to get chip counts, you go to a section, you start grabbing notable chip counts. Now you can literally just grab tables. You can grab 3 tables. You can go back. You can input them. Like, you can just write down, it's this table. It's seat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. You go and you put it back. Like, you can get so much more information out there, and you can put so much more stuff out there. I know a lot of times reporters would possibly pass up on a big hand simply because it's a quote unquote big hand between 2 unknowns. Well, now you know their names, and you don't have to go through the awkward dance of asking them their names, or you just ask the winner. You don't ask the loser because you don't want to ask the loser because you just lost a big pot, right? Like, you have all that sort of stuff. Or the loser happens to bust and they're up and out the door, and you're never going to ask them, right? So now, instead of having opponent or the button or the player under the gun or the big blind, you have exact names that you can use, right? So I would just immediately start building that into the coverage as much as possible, and just really, go nuts with it. Try and use it to benefit everything that you're doing, and basically put your live reporting on steroids. Like, give it that big boost that can take it to the next level. That's how I would certainly go about stuff. Just try and make it so that, it's a tool, and it can certainly benefit you, and it can certainly help you, much like, AI can certainly benefit you and certainly help you if you learn how to use it and learn how to use it correctly and in ways that can benefit what you're doing. So I don't think, this app is going to come for jobs, at least right now. I think there's still a lot of things that need to be worked out. Like, I mentioned the chip count thing, right? Like, even when you're having the dealers count chips at your table or at a table on a break and then input them into the app, I mean, that's every 2 hours. I mean, people want chip counts every 2 minutes, every hand, right?
Yeah,
so like,
you would basically have to start either going down the road of, like we said, RFID chips, or doing what China does and hiring a second dealer, or hiring a live reporter per table.
I mean, that's just impossible.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not impossible, but that's just
it's just
so
expensive.
far-fetched and expensive. And can you even find that many people? I mean, I feel like every year it's like hard to find dealers just to, like, because you have to have so many of them. So now, are you going to have additional people that know poker? Because you have to be able to know and, like, look at the chips and say, okay, this guy's betting 300, this guy's betting 1,000. Like,
I think the quickest way around it actually would be, we know that security, especially in Las Vegas casinos, is pretty top notch. So maybe there's a development of a kind of security camera that can monitor like 4 tables at once, and track it through, like, basically tracking that. So how we do a lot of like facial recognition, but now it's chip recognition, and they can read that this table is table 673, and can push through updates that way. That might be a little bit easier than going down that whole RFID route.
Yeah, I mean, as our colleague Remco Rinkema often says, the future is now, right? So the future is now. You just gotta embrace it, and you gotta try and use it to your advantage, and hopefully it can help you excel at your job. So yeah, I don't think it's taking jobs right now, at least, but I think it certainly is a tool that can benefit everything overall. So use it as you see fit. All right. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Do you?
No.
Okay, good. Because I want to get out of here. It's past midnight and it's freaking late. Okay. The babysitter canceled this morning. I mean, it was a mess. Absolute mess.
So if you're a babysitter and you're watching, slide into his DMs. Actually, that sounds bad.
Okay, we're not done with the podcast. So we're going to go for another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. It's very difficult to find babysitters. Like finding people that you trust. You're leaving your kids with them. Like it's a whole thing, right? I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Who do you use as a babysitter? Is it like a service or like a family friend?
We actually use a teacher at their school.
Oh, okay.
Which one, they already know the kids, right?
That's good.
A lot of those teachers, I believe, from my understanding, is they do babysit because it's good supplemental income, right? And they all know the kids and they're already familiar with the parents, and you already have that level of trust built in. So that's really good. Although we did use a teacher at the school before and she flamed out massively. Just like started ghosting us and whatever. So that was a little bit weird. But as I understand, I think she also did that with the school. So yeah. And on this edition of Family Pot, that we didn't properly introduce, that's my family pot.
Yeah, it must be
babysitters,
tough.
Baby.
We're pretty lucky with the kids that we had. My wife's mother around close by, so that was kind of an easy. That was the easy help for us. So very fortunate there.
Yeah, I mean, we drop the kids off at the parents all the time or the grandparents all the time, but it's still like, I don't know. I always feel bad. Like at least with the babysitter, like I know I'm paying you for a service, so this is your job, and it's like I don't feel as awkward about it. But if I'm just like, hey, mom and dad, come watch our kids, or here, take the kids. Like I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I know they like it and they love it, yes, but I also don't want to turn into be a burden about it. So yeah, that's where I am with that. But Monday will start, and the kids will be back in school, so we'll be out of all that nonsense. So yeah, all right, cool. For Tim Duckworth, my name is Donnie Peters, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
See ya.